Hi everybody, this is Debbie from Creekside Art Studio again. I wanted to show you another mandala rock design. This one we're going to be painting a flower today. I have an odd shaped rock today. It's kind of off. So this is going to be the flower portion and with the stem and a leaf. So I think you'll find this fun and easy. I'm going to be using the punch set that I used in my previous video. And I'm also going to be using my inexpensive, you can get them online, dotting tool set. So I'll put those out and about so I can use different sizes of those. If you haven't used these before, the ends of them on one side are all pretty similar, and then on the other end they're different sizes. So those are fairly easy to use, and I think you'll enjoy it. The colors I'm using today are white, a green, that's one is called, it's a Craft Smart Holiday Green. Then I'm also going to be using the Lime Tree from Apple Barrel. The Craft Smart Apple Tart is this green right here. And the pink is the Rosemary or Rosemary, I'm not sure, I think it's Rosemary. And then the red is Flag Red, and that is an Apple Barrel color. You can use any colors you have. I'm just choosing reds and pinks because I think it'll be fun. So I'm going to start off by just putting a little medium size, actually, white dot in the center of the stone. Not the center of the stone, I'm sorry, the center where I want the flower to be. Just one good size white dot there. Get my paper towel, wipe off the end. And then what I'm going to do next is we're going to be painting with some white dots around that with the smallest of my dotting tools, and I'm just going to, I like it to be kind of even for some reason. It's just the way I do it usually, starting off on each side, and then we'll dot from side to side so it makes that plus sign, and then we'll put one in the center between each one of those. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the lightest green I have, which is the Lime Tree from Apple Barrel, and I'm going to put a little dot in between each one of those white ones. Make that first one a little bit bigger. Didn't pick up enough paint. There we go. So one little dip in the paint, and then one little, if it comes out right, dot on the rock. Okay, then we're going to go from there. I'm going to take the other end of this, which is a little bit larger dotting size. So this is the end we're going to use now. We were using this small tiny end. We're going to go to this end, and I'm going to use that same lime green. And in line with the white dot that I had before, I'm going to put a dot. So I hope you can see this. I'm turning it as I go so you can see it. Just right in line with the white dots that I did before, I'm putting the lime green. This is just to get a cute little start to the center portion of our flower. It's going to be a whimsical flower. This is not to try to look like a genuine flower that grows in your garden. This is not realistic painting, it's fun painting for now. Okay, so we'll wipe that off, and then I'm going to take the next shade of green and a larger size dotting tool. I think I can fit this one, let's see, I think this size will be right in between each one of those. So this color is called Apple Tart. And it's very similar to the last color. It's just a little bit darker, just a shade darker. Just kind of to the outside and in between those other dots. A little bit more paint for that one. There we go. And then I'm going to go back to the white with the smallest dotting tool that I have again, the pink one with the smallest end. Put a little dot of white right next to each of those larger green dots. Carefully. They're getting very close there. There we go. One more. Okay. And then I want to take the darkest green that I have on the tray, which is, today it's our holiday green. I'm going to dot around that. So just kind of freestyling it around each on the outside of that. Using the smallest dotting tool that I was just using before, I'm going to start with putting a dot on the outside of each of the green dots that I already had previous to that. Just kind of makes it circular that way when I do that. Right by that dot, you can see where the white bled into the green. It's because the green wasn't dry yet and I touched it. We can go back and fix that later by adding another drop of green on top once it dries. You can't fix it until it dries at this point. The easiest way to fix it, actually. You can do it. It would just be easier if you just wait till it dries. I'm glad you're getting to see so many of my mistakes. Until I started videotaping, I don't think I realized how many mistakes I made. So just between each one of these white dots then, I'm going to add a green. And still trying to stay in line with the other green dots so it stays circular all the way around. Okay, and then we'll add one more green dot in between each one of those. Let that one dry a little bit. I'll come back. Might have been good to do with a toothpick to get even a smaller dot. Okay, that's going to be the center of our flower. So next what we're going to do is we're going to start doing the petals of the flower. And I've done a flower similar to what we're doing today. This is the one, it's in my Etsy shop, Creekside Art Studio for you on Etsy. We're not doing this exact flower. I did a different mandala in the beginning, but we're going to do similar with the flower, with the leaves, so with the petals. So now I'm going to get a larger dotting tool. This one's the blue dotting tool, and I'm going to use the larger end of the two ends. And we're going to make it opposite of the last flower I did. We're going to start with the red in the center and end up with the pink on the outside. So I'm just going to put it in line with the two white dots that I put together. And we're going to put, this is just to get it basically started. One dot around each one of those. So far have only one time created the exact same rock again, and of course it didn't come out exactly the same because these are all hand done. I haven't made any prints of my artwork yet. Maybe someday in the future if on request, but so far I haven't done that. And the reason I haven't done that is because I like the fact that all of my art is completely original and hand done. And I have drawn ideas from other people's art, especially more in the beginning. Well, even now I still do it. When I see somebody's art I love, 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 I try to sometimes let that inspire me. But I try to create all of my art to be different from anybody else's or from anything else I've done in the past. Okay, so now I'm going to take that same size dotting tool and I'm going to go out from that dot and just draw it out. So we're just making, kind of walking the dots away from the center. And these lines don't have to be perfectly straight. The petals of a flower don't have to be perfectly the same size. This is just to get our little center portion started. So walking the dots is what this is called. When you put the, dip the tool in the paint one time and then you continue to lift the tool up and place it down again. And it deposited the paint on the rock and the dots get smaller as you continue to dot. So put it down, lift it, and place it without re-dipping the paint. Okay, that's the beginning. Next we're going to take the white. This is the first time we've mixed colors. I haven't had to do that before, and it's time to start doing it. I'm going to take a little bit of the white. Let me show you what I'm doing. I'm going to take a little bit of the white, and I'm going to add it into the red and mix it up. It's just going to make it a slightly lighter shade of red, very slightly, depending on how much white you put in. The more white you put in, the lighter your red will get. Eventually it's going to get to pink. It won't go to that color pink because that pink has some other tones in it also. But so it's a little bit lighter. We're going to take that same size dotting tool that we used before, the blue one and the larger end of the blue one, and I'm going to dip it into the red, and I'm going to walk it out on one side of the petal. And then I'm going to walk it out onto the other side of the petal. And we're going to do this one with each one of our little center red stems, petals, sorry, red petals. And it's just going to create a little bit of a flower look with a graduating color. So the darkest part is as if the vein, the center of the petal, is a little bit darker. The form of art that we're doing, of course, I'm sure you know, is pointillism or dot painting. There's different terminology you can use, but it's not making a solid brush stroke. It's making dots to create the picture. I first took a class on this one time. It was a beginner dot painting on rock class, and I fell in love with this art form and have been doing it ever since. I'd always seen it before, the look of the dot painting and the pointillism painting, and there's famous artists that do it, but I had never tried it before, and as soon as I saw it, I knew I loved it, and as soon as I tried it, I was hooked. So I hope you enjoy it also. It's a fun thing to do. It's not difficult. It's more difficult to get great at it, which that's a constant. You're always learning to get better. But to have fun with it, I mean, great is in the eye of the beholder. So you're great as long as somebody thinks you're great, or as long as you think you're great. Don't let other people's judgments cloud you. When I first started doing this art form, I think people weren't quite used to it, but they knew they liked it. And then suddenly it became something that they truly, truly enjoyed looking at. Okay, using that same size tool, I'm not even going to change it. I'm going to go to the light pink, or the bright pink that we have here. Dipping it in, starting it at the base. And we're going to go out to the outside. either side. Outlining this in a bright pink. Because the stone is a dark gray stone, I'm using a natural stone. You want to sometimes outline in a lighter shade, white or lighter shade, to create the contrast. I'm going to add a little bit more paint to this side. Just it didn't pick up much paint the first time. There we go. There we go. This is just going to be a happy rock, an easy way to paint a flower, fun, cute, cheerful, and something to help you find something to do while you're at home. Most people have rocks around. You can find a place. You can do this. It doesn't have to be painting on a rock, by the way. You can be doing all of this on card stock or paper. Just make sure you put something underneath it so you don't ruin your furniture. You could be doing it on cardboard, whatever you have. But rocks are usually pretty readily available, at least where I live they are. I live on a very rocky island that I believe was formed from volcanoes and things like that. We live very close to a volcano. It's, of course, on the mainland, and I'm on an island, but we can see it out our window. So every day we get to see it. It's not an active volcano right now. I mean, it is active, but it's not actively exploding right now. I live in the woods, basically, in a neighborhood, but we have so many trees all around us that it's just like living in a deep woods. It's beautiful. Okay, so we have a pretty little flower started. I think what we're going to do is just, those are not especially even or perfect, but flower petals aren't. I think just to add a little interest, we're going to go ahead and outline it with the smallest dotting tool again, which is this small little pink one. See if I can get you on the camera. There you go. And we're going to outline it in the white. So starting in the center, I'll place a dot in the center, in between each one of the petals. And then we're going to go along and outline it into the white. I think what I'll do is I'll start on the end with a white dot. That'll give me my guide where I'm going to be heading to. I think this is a nice mandala flower to do on a lopsided rock. I've got room for the stem. Okay, so then we're going to take it and walk the dots down to the end. So you just place it in the white and then go down to the end. It's not a difficult technique. It's fun to practice. If you need to practice before you actually use it on your flower, then go ahead and do that. I just dropped my utensil. 1 second, I have to wipe the end off. I went right into the pink. Okay, back into the white. I have so much fun making these videos. I didn't think I would. Obviously, I don't like being on camera much. Maybe eventually I'll show you what I look like. But it's more about the art than it is about me. So I hope you're enjoying this. It's fun. I like being able to share this art form and show you what you can do with quite a little bit of time and patience and color and I think, fun. This is another beginner level video. We can get into some more of the intricate work later on. I'm starting off with easy videos to get you used to it. If you haven't ever seen a dot painting video before, please feel free to check out my other ones. This one is my 5th video and my first actual flower video with a stem and all. So, okay. One more thing I'm going to do once the white is dry, I'm going to add a little touch of color to that. But for now, we're going to start working on the stem. I'm going to take the largest size dotting tool that I have is the green one. This end is this is just the normal size end. This is the largest dotting tool I have. I'm actually not going to be using my Pittsburgh paint punch sets today because I think I have enough sizes difference with just this set right here. So I'm going to take the darkest green and we're going to go from just this little portion of the flower and start right about there, right in between 2 of the petals. And I'm dotting all the way down. I'm doing it kind of on a curve. And this is just the beginning of the stem. I'm going to go down towards the end of the rock. There you go. And then I'm going to take the next lighter shade, which is what I have is Apple Tart. And we're going to go down the sides of that with this other end of this, the opposite end that we just used. We're going to do the Apple Tart, and we're going to go in between each one of these. Just that little sound is my little rocky palette making all that noise. And then we're going to go down the other side or up the other side. It doesn't matter which way you go. We're dipping it each time so they're staying the same size. And one more. Squeeze that little guy in there. Okay. Then we're going to do the same thing to create the leaf. We're going to take the larger end, and we could do one leaf over on this side and one leaf over on this side, or we could just do one leaf. I kind of like the leaf on this side, so we're going to just do it from here. We're going to take it in between right there, and this time we're going to let the dots get smaller as they go out. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other end and the other color. Just like we did on the flower, start it right there. Do a few. I'm going to have to dot it out to the end. And then when I get closer to the end, I am going to let the dots fall away. I'll show you what I mean. So we're doing it like this. And then let it fall away. And dot it. And then let it fall away. Okay. We're going to do one more shade in the lightest green that we have. And do the same thing. One more row going to the outside. And this time we're going to add a little shape to it. So we're going to start it kind of one up and let it go out a little tiny bit further to create that shape that we want, more like a leaf. Dot it towards the end. Do the same thing over here, starting right about there. I need to keep adding a little bit more paint. There we go. Okay, then we're going to take the bright green. I think the white's just about dry enough, and with the biggest end of my green dotting tool, I'm going to add the bright green, and I'm going to put a top dot right in the center. There you go. Your flower is done. I'm happy with it. I think it's cute as can be. There's the flower. I hope you enjoy it. I'll try to turn it around so you can see it from all sides. And it's just a pretty little happy flower. You can put a butterfly on the side, or you could put another leaf on this side. You can do whatever you like. And if you stayed till the end of this video, the first person who sends me a picture of their video, of their rock painted going along with this video, I will send you this rock. So you send me a picture and then a way to contact you so that nobody else can see it. And I will, I'll send it to my email address at creeksideartstudio@aol.com. I'll put that down below on the description. And if you actually favorite it, subscribe, and send me a picture of your rock that you followed along, I will send you my rock. Okay, thank you so much for joining me today on this video, and I hope you enjoyed it, and have a wonderful day. Stay safe, stay well. Thank you again. Bye-bye.